Hello, we are live, and welcome to the Anything and Everything podcast, starring me.
Shalom.
I didn't introduce you. Fuck off. This is mine.
It's
this is
ours.
this is my podcast.
This is our podcast. We conceived it together.
We conceived this podcast.
Where's your face? I don't see your face yet. And you're gone.
Oh wait, there
Yeah.
we go. The voice is on, but the screen wasn't. I forgot to actually transition the screen. There we go. I am a professional.
Professional dropout?
Eh. And now I'm depressed.
There we are. Oh my god. I forgot we're using that picture.
We're using that picture.
Perfect. I love it.
No, but I do have a story to tell right off the bat here.
Oh, let's do it. Let's go.
So I went to the gym at like
Uh-huh.
3:45ish, and then I left.
As you do.
As you do, and then I left, and I was on my way home, and my battery light was already on, so I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Whatever. Like, I'll check it when I get home."
Mhm.
And then I fucking get into one of the turn lanes to go towards my house. I flip my turn signal on. Every light on my dash just starts flickering at me. Like it is like it looks like my car is fucking possessed right now. And I'm like, alright, this is kind of really fucking freaky right now. And then all of a sudden I go to turn and my fucking power steering goes out. And so
Oh
I'm
my
like
god.
grinding on this wheel to like go to the left just to fucking turn. It was great. And like every once in a while, I would hit a bump or something, and the lights would just go and just flash at me. I was like, "Oh, this is it. My car's gonna fucking die on the road now."
Yeah. That's literally what happened to my car at first, remember?
Yeah.
So I'll tell the story for the people in the chat or on the stream right now. What happened was my first car was like a 2004 Kia something, and what happened was it already had some rust issues, and we recently put like an oil drum thing on that to like catch the oil.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just like, okay. And my oil kept getting low, and I didn't have much money to, go out and buy oil.
Right.
So I would like cruise on like low oil for a lot of the time. But what happened is we were driving, and when I was driving, it randomly just like I was going over an overpass in Finland. Finland. And when we were I was going over the overpass, and a couple lights popped on. I'm like, okay. So I just kept going. All of a sudden, I reached like the peak of the overpass, like going over, and I try to like hit I hit the gas. It just revved for a second. All of a sudden, every single light turned on.
Oh, good.
Like every light turned on the dash, and then it just click off.
Oh.
The car was gone.
No, see, that's what I thought mine was gonna do. Like, cause like it kept flashing at me and everything, and I was like, "Fuck!" I put my hazards on because there was people behind me, and I'm like, "All right, if this fucking shuts off, you're the one that has to look out for me because I can't fucking stop this thing anymore."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What sucked even more is because since I was at the top of the overpass, I had to go down with no power steering, no like brakes.
Yeah.
I had literally my own manpower to turn the damn car.
Serpentine.
It was just so difficult, like so scary.
Yeah, so scary.
Und spook.
Also, WhoGirl97, hello or moo or whatever. I haven't seen her on the channel before. So let's get 1 million moos in chat.
I'm not seeing enough mooing.
But yeah, if you want, we do this every Monday now. We're switching it to Monday at 6.
Yep.
So if you want to make sure you never miss a podcast, be sure to hit that follow button. I also do gaming content regularly. So.
Oh, you're actually doing it regularly now?
I've been doing it regularly.
Ugh.
Like that's what sustains this channel is my gaming content. The podcast is
your gaming. Well, yeah, we just did it.
Just did this
Friday. But yeah. And then obviously it could change depending on my work schedule because my work needs me.
Right. Yeah. Also,
So,
follow me and Patrick
mhm.
on Twitter because either mostly I will tweet out and he will quote tweet me and just say check us out. So follow my Twitter and
And
I'll
follow both of them for random ass content.
there you go. There you go. Follow my Twitter for updates on this series because if there's a change, I will tweet it out.
And I will quote treat it saying,
You will
yes.
you will quote treat it. Yes. You're gonna like get all up in that tweet and just like touch it
As you do.
as you
Whoa.
do.
Ugh. So,
Oh yeah, I reapplied for BG last night
I saw that. Why are you doing that? To get your bachelor's again?
to get to finish off my bachelor's.
Because you'll have what, your associates or something?
Hopefully by the end of this summer session, I'll have my associates. So, and then I can just finish off my
Take
bachelor's.
2 years in BG.
Well, I'm gonna be a part-time student while still hopefully having my job here in Finley.
Mm.
So it's probably gonna take
Okay.
me. I'm gonna probably go for 3 just to be
Be safe.
part-time. Yeah, just to be safe. But
Okay.
hopefully I don't have a lot of classes left over and I can knock it out.
Yeah.
Maybe I could knock it out in
I'm
3 sessions if I do summer sessions and winter sessions now.
See, I'm not looking forward to college because I have to do at least an extra year
Yeah.
because I have my core classes I still can't get hammered out because I either get like the grade under that I need.
Right.
Because for music ed, one of the things you need is in like English and math, you need at least a C. And the first time I took English Comp 2, I got a C minus.
Oh, good.
And I was so upset. Because I'm like, are you kidding me? It's right there.
It's right there.
Right? So I need to do that still, which I'm hoping to possibly do over the summer, as sucky as that would be.
Right.
But that way I can just get like professional ed program stuff done and hopefully get this done as much as I can. Because I'm not taking lessons this semester because I don't have a way to apply for them because all the registration's down now or closed.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much just I still have to email my instructor because just let them know, I'm not able to do lessons this semester. I will be able to pick back up next semester. So because I failed my jury, and when I mean fail for the people that are watching, for music ed, when you take your jury, which is pretty much the exam for your lessons,
Right.
you have to get a B or higher to pass.
Yeah.
If you get anything lower, you have to retake that course.
Yeah.
Which luckily, one of the hardest ones is done, which is the barrier, which is like a long jury. So I don't have to do all that again.
I think your girlfriend's here in chat, by the way. Depressed barista.
Burrito. Yeah.
Yep.
I read that. Yep. She wants a burrito. Well, let me.
Just a hard no. Oh, thank you, Depressed Barista, for the follow.
She follow you?
Yeah, she did. You realize you could have just literally said one moment and she would have heard you, right? Like, you do realize your voice is on this, right?
Wait, what?
What? What is this?
Nani?
Homayo, Shindayu. Nani?
Jotaro.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so with all that, I'm already gonna have to do an extra couple of years.
Oh, couple of years. I didn't know extra couple.
Well, the more I think about it, because I still have to do my 38, or it could, because I have to do pretty much. I'm gonna have to redo this year in a sense,
right?
Because I have to do the professional ed program, which usually do your junior year. So I'm gonna have to do that stuff next year, pretty much, and then the last couple things, which include a recital. If I pass both 38 sessions, I have to do a recital, and then I also have to do student teaching.
Gotcha.
And I still have to take a shit ton of tests as well to like praxis and other things. So it's just taking a real toll on me currently.
Right. So that's why I'm glad
Oh,
I'm
it
in
sucks.
computer science. You don't fucking have to do anything, and you can get an associate.
Maybe I should just switch my major.
Yeah, come to computer science. I'll teach you. It's really easy to learn. I taught myself, so it's
I
really
was gonna
easy.
say, I'll just have you do all my work. I'll just have you give me your work.
No,
Just
no, no.
go
You're
from
learning.
there.
I'm not doing your work. You're gonna learn.
No, I'm not saying you're doing my work. I'm saying you're giving me your work as an example, and I just
Oh,
end up
okay.
using your work.
And yeah, I was gonna say, and then you'll just do it again for me. So you know, you're kind of cutting out, by the way.
Am I?
Yeah.
Hmm.
um. Oh, I just when I was at the gym today, I seen a tweet from Guillermo del Toro for the
Mm-hmm.
Scary Stories, like a trailer, a teaser dropped.
I'm pretty sure it dropped. Didn't it drop during the Super Bowl?
Maybe it did drop during the Super Bowl, but yeah, I was in MS Paint for most of the Super Bowl, drawing the Super Bowl. So you know,
As you do.
it's all as you do. That's also in last night's Cake got a clip of it, and it's pretty funny because there was a commercial came on about a guy who was obsessed with eating mac and cheese. and,
Oh,
so, and,
good.
and so I just drew it, and I was like stick figures and shit. I ended up drawing a pitchfork in the guy's hand. I was like, boyfriend eats mac and cheese all the time. And then I tried to draw mac and cheese. I'm like, these are noodles. And then as I looked, I was like, that is a baguette. That is a baguette and a pitchfork.
Go back.
Go
Go
back,
back.
go back. But it was pretty funny.
R/go back.
R/go back.
Ugh. Ugh. So, you want to, as you see on the screen, there's
Oh
the
yeah,
local
we've got
bands you should check out. Do you want to do yours first?
yeah. So the one that I found, a friend of mine. His name is Little Bo Peep. And he just put out a new album called Pete's World of Beats. It's on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. So if you use either of those platforms, even if you don't, they're both free, I believe. Well, SoundCloud's free. Not sure about Bandcamp. But check it out. They're really like mellow hip hop. So if you just want something to put on while you're working or whatever, definitely highly recommend that.
Nice. Ugh. And as you see on the screen, there is a band called Whisper Disco. It includes 5 members. And with the members, they're pretty much all male except for one female who's mostly vocalist and like I think a little bit of piano if I remember correctly. This is their EP that they came out with, and it's how do I explain? It's very different as compared to stuff that you would usually hear while having those influence. So it's very kind of like indie, I'll say. And they also include some songs that are more upbeat and then some mellow type. It's very cool. You should definitely check it out for yourself to get your own opinion on them. They're really good. And this will segue into a shameless plug. This Saturday, February 9th, at Ottawa Tavern, there is a Valentine's Day bash that includes Whisper Disco, someone named Emma Lee, who's a very talented musician, and then Ice Cream Militia and Push Pops, which I am a part of. I see your head shaking.
No, keep going, keep going.
Anyway,
I'll let you do your thing here.
Yeah, my plug.
Uh-huh.
Well, goodbye, phone. I just chucked my phone by accident.
Don't you hate when you chuck your phone by accident?
All the time. Militia and Push Pops are ska, rock, reggae band. That is, they have an album out. We covered them last session.
Covered them last session or last session.
Yeah, last session. Yeah. They're really good. Definitely, if you want to hear them live, which they sound really good live, go ahead and check them out. And like all these, for at least Whisper Disco and Militia, you can definitely find them on YouTube. And go ahead and look them up on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah.
All right. Good shit.
Tickets are like $5, I think. $5 to $10.
Good shit. Yeah, hanging. It is only Monday. We're probably gonna move the podcast to Monday now, works better for Patrick with his schedule currently. So, yeah, we're probably gonna move it to Monday at 6 instead of Friday.
Okay, that's something.
That is a squid. See, okay, on the actual like stream, that comes across as one fluid image. In my chat
I
box,
figured.
it's in my chat box. It's cut up, and it's like, okay,
Same. Like I see it on the stream too.
yeah.
But yeah, so those are local bands. Definitely check them out. Give them some support.
So, what albums?
Buy their shit.
What albums have you listened to this weekend?
This 3 days, yeah. First off, let me give the depressed barista a burrito. So you might end up hearing her for a moment, unfortunately.
Oh man, that's the worst. Don't get a girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen. You just have
Yeah,
to
don't
feed
get a
them.
girl. Dude, you'll have to feed them, water them, take care of them.
They're like a plant with more complex emotions.
Okay. Love you too. Okay. So, going on.
So albums. You want to start with albums?
Sure. Let's see. What have I listened to a lot? I'm trying to think. I mean, honestly, because I have my music stuff just all around, I could easily shout out 3 albums that are good.
There you go.
First we'll do, if you like progressive rock and very long songs with multiple parts, definitely check out Yes, Close to the Edge. It's a CD that is
I didn't realize when
only
you said
3.
you were gonna like find shit that meant you were just gonna fucking shout out anything in your record collection from the fucking 70s.
Well, I mean, because I have my records on my left side, and on the right I have my CD tree. So Yes is
okay.
right there.
Gotcha.
But there are 3 songs on the album, and the first one is 18 minutes long. The second song is, I believe, 14, 15 minutes long, and the other one's 8 minutes long. And it's completely worth it if you like something in the background noise, something playing in the background. It has a lovely, different parts to it, lovely parts to it.
A lovely.
So,
Can you like try to speak properly? Like, give it your all here, please.
look, it'd be easier if we were like most podcasts and had a script. Ooh, call them out.
Well, it would be. We could have a script if we didn't keep rescheduling the podcast 2 episodes into doing the podcast. Ooh, called out.
Ooh, you're gay.
Oh, got me.
Who got it?
Any other albums you want to do?
Yeah, we wanted to do 3 each, so I can easily. Let's see. I'll definitely also shout out Greta Van Fleet's new album, Peaceful Army.
You mean Led Zeppelin?
What is PFP?
Profile picture.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's so intense. Your profile picture is too intense, man.
I'm too hip, man. Tip with the jive.
You are too cool right now. Like,
oh my goodness, phone, work with me.
Trey was moving around a lot when he said that. What? When I said what?
Stop moving around, loser. But anyway, yeah, Peaceful Army. It came out last year. Really good, really amazing parts to it. Check that out. And then finally, we'll just go with a classic because I kept hearing it on the radio. The Who, Who's Next?
Yep.
Such a good album. Definitely check it out. It has what they call the Teenage Rebellion song, which is
Oh, when talking about rescheduling his scripts. Oh! Basically what I was doing that entire time.
Who? The Who.
The Guess
Who? Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, Baba O'Reilly is what it's called. That's what it is. So definitely check out those 3 albums if you like old rock and a callback. Huh? Yeah, Baba O'Reilly's the first track off it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't listen to that much Who, I'll be honest.
I only listen to it on the radio, vinyl. Jesus, get a new chair.
I was just gonna keep doing that until like you said something.
What about you?
For me, I did actually pick up a new album this weekend. Bernadette.
Oh, nice.
Bernadette recommended a song off the album to me a while back, and I listened to it again today. It's called
Mm-hmm.
"Cocaine and Abel." The song is called "Cocaine and Abel" by Amigo the Devil, but the actual album is "Everything Is Fine." Um, the whole album is pretty good. It's like a bluesy rock kind of. It's like bluesy folk rock with a little
Go
bit of
figure.
like,
Blues rock with the devil.
eh, yeah. So like, and there's
Trey pooped on himself. Sad day.
okay. um, and if you do listen to the album, I highly recommend it. It's a very good just sort of clear your mind album. A lot of a lot of story in the actual album. Um, and songs I recommend are definitely "Cocaine and Abel" and Abel. Not cocaine and Abel. uh,
Enable the cocaine.
Enable the cocaine. Trey's always said. I am always said.
I could have told you that. I was friends with him for God knows how long.
Shut up. Hell and
Shut
You.
up.
First Day of the End of My Life. Stronger Than Dead. And there's another one too that's pretty good. But yeah.
You want to just shout out all the songs on the album?
Yeah, Cocaine and Abel, If I'm Crazy, You're Perfect Too, Preacher Feature, Hell and You, I Hope Your Husband Dies, Capture, Hungover in Jonestown, First Day of the End of My Life, The Liars Club, Everyone Gets Left Behind, The Dreamer, Release, Edmund Temper, and Stronger Than Dead. Yeah, no, there's just a random one in there. Just I hope your husband dies. We got 8 inches of snow, and I just finished shoveling. Now my toes are numb. Dude, all our snow just melted away.
Yeah,
It's
nice been
spring weather here today.
Ooh, that smells good. What else?
Go through and fucking pick some fucking songs, albums, I guess.
Have you listened to the new one I got you?
You got me a new album?
The one I got you for Christmas.
Oh, no, I haven't. I have not plugged my record player in since I got home from BG last year. So, you know.
I knew there was a scoop in here.
But let me just go through the squad playlist here.
You have a squad player.
Yeah.
Burrito was shit. 2 out of 10.
I mean, Patrick made it, so really, what were you expecting here? Oh, it's I forgot about this one actually. Zombie EP, the Bad Wolves cover of Zombie, done by fucking I can't remember her name. But it's a really, really, really good song. It's Zombie by Bad Wolves. And then it's an EP, and it's the only song on the EP.
So it's just a single.
So it counts.
So it's just a single. Let's be honest.
It's just a single. It's an EP, but it's a single. And then one more. Fucking AJ added fucking John Denver Country Roads to our playlist. God damn it, AJ.
If you want, it's up to you.
Can I die? Please don't die hanging. Don't listen to Patrick. He's a bad influence.
Tomorrow. Hi, Cake.
Hey, Cake. How you doing, man? And then you know what? Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Great album.
Hell yeah.
That's what got me through working at Subway.
Perfect.
Ah, there you go. That's a fucking half hour of this podcast done. All right. Only an hour and a half left.
Okay. So tomorrow I have my conducting class.
Oh no.
And last Tuesday the instructor said he was going to email us what we were supposed to go over for conducting next page.
And he didn't email you.
No one knows. I've asked all of the other 4 people in the class. They have absolutely no clue.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Oh, fucking so I'm in a microeconomics class. And we were talking about fucking supply and demand today. And I was pretty much understanding everything. Like it's not that hard to grasp the concept of it, obviously. And
Oh yeah.
one of the guys, he's always on his phone. Like he has two phones in his hand at all time. Okay, and he sits there and like scrolls on both of them and is always doing shit on both his phones.
Mhm.
And he always shows up to class late. He's always doing this. And at some point, he goes to answer, and he just fucking screams as loud as he can the fucking answer. And then he's like going on rants about supply and demand while still screaming. And I have to sit right beside him. I was like, fucking shut up, 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 shut up. And the instructor was just kind of like wide eyed the entire time, looking at all of us like, what the fuck do I do? Yeah, so that was my class today.
Solid.
So
What else? Huh. We listened to Indian music in my music history 1 class,
nice.
and so yeah, we it was a doozy. Let me tell you.
It was a doozy.
If you ever get a chance, honestly, listen to some. If you want just something in the background that reminds you of one of a couple Beatles songs because of George Harrison's guitar playing, listen to just some. It's literally raga, raga,
Yeah.
Indian raga. Just like throw on one of those. It'll
Alright.
be fine.
All right, bye, Kick. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. So, how'd you feel about the D&D session Saturday?
That was good. I enjoyed that actually.
That's good.
Got my camera and shit ordered. I got a tripod ordered,
Nice.
so that'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So I can play around with that.
Yeah, so you have a couple weeks to figure out when
Yeah, I have like a week
since
or two to
JP can't
figure
play
out.
this week.
Right, right. And let's be honest here, the real main people in this campaign at this point are just Luke and Ublo.
hmm
So you can't do it without either of them, obviously.
Yeah, the only thing I could do is if like you and I and like Alan got together would be like if I had a couple side quests set up, but I'd have no backstories from you guys.
Right, right. I gotta sit down at some point and think about my character's backstory, just because.
I know.
Are you like about to suggest? I forgot she was watching. Vera is important too, bitches.
To be fair,
You
yeah, she did go toe to toe with a spectator.
To be fair, she instigated that toe to toe with a spectator. I don't care if we would have needed to fight it at some point to get our fucking quest completed. She instigated it. Lame. You're lame, Christian. Fuck off.
Oh, is that Christian? Hey,
That's
buddy, I
Christian.
missed you. My boy Spaz over here.
I miss you.
So I opened up one of the because Kate and I are going to work out tonight.
Yeah, as you do.
I opened up, as you do. I opened up some of the pre-workout stuff, and there were 3 little bags of like, miss you too, of like packing, like pretty much the stuff you get in what's it called? Give me a second.
I'm giving you a second. Don't worry.
Huh? What'd you say, Trey?
I said I'm giving you a minute. Don't worry. I'm giving you a
Oh,
minute
okay.
now, not a second. Cause
No. But I took the 3 things out of it because that has the one thing in there to scoop it out,
sure, I know what you're talking
and
about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and I put the 3 packets because there were 3 in there for some reason on the table, and I just like tapped them out and put them off the side. It looks like I'm about to do cocaine.
Well, are you?
Like if I had a camera set up, I would show you.
Yeah, you need to get your laptop fixed so I can actually put your fucking camera on here.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck my throat. Wait, pregame isn't cocaine? I mean, it's basically the same thing. Let's be completely honest here. It's basically the same thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at like game releases for this week.
Okay.
We'll put a new segment on impromptu. 2 4
6-8. Who do we appreciate?
For the week, Og. Upcoming video game releases for 2019.
Just try to find like the next couple months.
Here's one for tomorrow. It's called Melbit's World, the cooperative puzzle platformer game that will equally charm and challenge your friends and family. Communication and coordination are the key to success in the Melbit's mission.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. I'm gonna actually look at some that look interesting, not just any fucking.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Astroneer is releasing February 6th on Xbox One. It looks like.
What is Astroneer?
It's a game that I play. It's like you just start off on this planet, and you're given a terraforming tool, and you have to go around, collect resources, and just build up a base on this planet. It's pretty cool. It's just a little chill game. There's not really any monsters that are gonna kill you, except for like some of the plants if you bump into them. So it's just a chill game. There's a game releasing tomorrow called Everybody is Sad.
That's a game I need.
There's no description of the game whatsoever. What other games are there? Those were lame games.
Yeah. Obviously, nothing happening in the month of February.
Obviously not. Obviously, Kingdom Hearts. Cartoon is hardcore judging your pick, Pat.
This was like elementary school, middle school me. I hung out with AJ with like that, like once or twice.
Oh shit! Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown released last Friday. I'll have to pick that up.
Those are words.
Those are you did say things.
I know.
Okay. The new Civ 6 DLC. I caught an ad for that earlier today. That releases February 14th. So that's gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna pick that up and try it
out. JP Snapchatted me something I saw when I was at a game store already.
Wait, he got his Snapchat back?
No, he like took a picture. I think he texted it to me.
Oh, okay.
But it was a Betrayal game, but it was one of the Legacy series ones. So it was Betrayal Legacy.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the Baldur's Gate one.
Which I want that one too.
I do want that one.
But yeah, it's pretty. If you don't know what the Legacy games are, what they do is, like, I've heard from some people, like, you go through and you destroy, like, you actually physically destroy cards and get rid of them, and it like changes the game like for X amount of times you play, and it pretty much makes yours customized.
Yeah.
So Betrayal Legacy would honestly be really weird because you already have X amount of haunts. And then just adding, oh, you must destroy the orb physically if you find it. Oh, perfect. Rip up the card, throw it away. Now we never have an orb.
Now we never have an orb.
Congrats.
Congrats, you fucking ruined the game.
Great, now
You want to try that again?
No, I really don't.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, buddy.
There.
Is. The Pat language I miss. I don't know why you sent that in 3 messages.
Same though.
Alright. Let's what movies? Let's look up movie releases now. Movie releases for 2019.
There's not really any good ones recently.
No. Endgame. That the Alita Battle Angel looks pretty good. It's like
That one looks so stupid to me. I just can't get behind it. I think her look just looks so fucking
well, it's like
stupid.
it's just like anime, but kind of in a pseudo real life. It's just kind of I don't know.
I'll keep my anime. I'll keep my anime looking the way it does.
Okay, buddy.
Animated.
Animated. Looks like we're getting a live action Dumbo, and Aladdin.
hmm
I accidentally hit enter for there, and then I thought to send one word messages, then decided it was kind of a spam, so I didn't. So what I'm hearing is you're kind of an idiot.
Only kind of.
Only kind of. It looks like we're getting a dog's journey and a dog's wah. A dog's way home. It is a movie about Luigi's dog. A dog wah.
Named
Um,
Waluigi's dog.
wah. What did I say, Luigi?
You said Luigi.
Oh wow.
I'm just a spaz. Yeah, we could have told you that.
Glass came out this month too, which I've heard was actually shit.
Which you what?
I've heard Glass was shit.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess like you know, fucking Shyamalan set up for this 3-part epic story, and then the third one really fell flat. I guess so.
Mm.
I'm still gonna go see it just because I want to see through to the end of this trilogy. But
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Far From Home. It looks like we're getting a Jumanji 3.
Oh.
It's a movie called Joker.
Oh, it's the Joaquin Phoenix one. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Joker centers around the iconic arch nemesis and is an original standalone story not seen before on the big screen. The exploration of Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix, a man disregarded by society, is full plot below.
They be killing Jumanji.
It's not only a gritty
Yeah.
character, but also a broader cautionary tale.
Yeah, they're killing Jumanji since they killed Robin Williams.
Oof. Still too soon.
Big oof.
Big oof. Lego Movie 2 is coming out. I'm excited for that one.
That one, yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Looks like they're doing another Child's Play.
I'm not looking forward. It's supposed when they had a good run with the Netflix ones, honestly. And they set up such and the two Netflix ones, they set up such a good storyline with it, like tying back to literally everything, and it actually worked. Pretty much all but the Seed of Chucky movie. But what they did was they they took the ending of the I think it's Cult of Chucky. And they had the
Hey, I'm back.
yeah, I just noticed
Yeah.
your mom Jay chilling back there.
Yeah.
But anyway, with the two Chucky movies, they pretty much took all of the storylines together and worked it all together, except for Seed. And they set up a cliffhanger pretty much at the ending where Chucky actually succeeded in possessing a body, drives off with his bride, Tiffany from the Bride of Chucky movie,
Mhm.
and then Andy Barkley stuck in an insane asylum. And now that they're just rebooting it, they had so much potential to like do at least one movie for closure. But did you see what Christian said?
Mom, I'm playing Minecraft.
But yeah, so I'm not looking forward to that thing at all.
Yeah. They're it looks like they're remaking Pet Cemetery too.
That one's supposed to be good, I heard.
Also, your mic is cutting out again. I don't know if you need to like sit closer to it or something, but
Can you hear me now?
yeah, you're good.
Am I good?
Yep.
Perfect. I know It Chapter 2 is supposed to come out this year.
It Chapter 2 comes out. I just seen Rocket Man comes out.
Oh, Rocket Man, I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Star Wars comes out this year. Pat is loud compared to you, Trey. Yeah, it's probably because I cranked my audio yesterday for the game. Patrick, go ahead and say something.
Something.
All right, we should be about even now.
Solid.
Scary Stories is on here.
Hmm.
I'm excited for that one. That one looks like it's gonna be great.
I'm just looking forward to more horror movies.
Well, see,
Good
that's I
horror
would say
movies.
that's the thing. Like it's apparently now you're too soft. Christian is just a fucking little bitch today.
Your mic went robot, so it literally turned bitch into bitch. Ugh.
But you know, like yeah, there's It Chapter 2. I don't know. I just haven't looked forward to horror movies in a while. Even like some of them that came out last year weren't good. Like Chapter 2 and this new Scary Stories are what I'm actually interested in, just because they look like they're gonna be good.
Hmm. Um. Yeah, I still want to see the new Halloween. I've seen a lot of things of it. I am hearing about like how the story goes. I actually uh am really excited to see it. I actually like how that story worked. Um, and then It Chapter 2, Scary Stories, and then there's something else too, but I can't remember the name of it.
So I sent a Snapchat to Bernadette and I was like, "We be podcasting," and she texts me back about what are you guys talking about? Like, what are you even talking about? So I just took a picture of the title and then I just sent anything, period, and everything, period. It's pretty
No.
self-explanatory here. Horror needs a better story plot and less gore. Exactly. Like
Yeah.
nothing has interested me because it's just like I know exactly what's gonna happen. Even if the story, I take that back. Even if I know what's gonna happen, just make it fun to watch. Like, don't just go for a gore fest with a cliche, overdone story.
Yeah.
That's why I did not like the new Halloween. Absolutely did not like the reboot.
Why?
It was bad.
How's it bad?
It was boring. Like, for one, they've built up this whole story over fucking 20 years that they keep retconning, keep retconning, keep retconning. And then this one comes out and is like, hey, you know all that? Fuck that. The first movie and this movie, that's all that exists now.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, sure, that's good because now it's concise. But it's just like, I don't know, it wasn't fun to watch. And it's like, should I focus on this family of Laurie? Or should I focus on Laurie? Is it about Michael? Is Michael dead? Michael's not actually dead. Fucking spoiler alert. He's not dead. They're gonna fucking
No, I
bring
know.
back another
Yeah,
one.
obviously.
Like, it's just. I don't know. It pissed me off because it was like, cool, this is exactly the same thing that we got in whatever, the first one. This is the exact, almost an exact carbon copy of the first movie.
See, I think that's one thing because I know a lot of the movies when you see like this or the original the fourth episode, the fourth movie, the Halloween H20 movie, and then this one they like bring it back to basics. So
Right.
that's why like when you do a binge watch of just like, oh, I want to watch the first one all the way to the newest one, like you see a lot of similar things of, oh, Michael gets up, Michael goes quiet, he stands around, he kills, he
Well, I
quote
mean,
unquote dies.
that's what I'm saying. Like, the first one is good because that was the story.
Yeah.
Everything after that is that story. It's it's
Yeah.
it's Laurie Strode is being hunted by Michael. Michael kills many people before he doesn't kill Laurie Strode. Laurie Strode gets
Hmm.
away, thinks she kills Michael. Michael is not at the end of the movie. Michael's body is not shown, thus setting up sequel. And it's
But also
happened
like
for every single movie. That's what I'm saying. Like it's boring to
mhm.
watch now.
But with this one I did enjoy like how they made it the story. Oh, he was actually captured after um getting shot off a balcony. Spoiler for the end of the first movie.
Well, see, I mean, yeah,
And he's been locked up for X amount of years, and they actually go to transport him, and then it's again spoiler for the new movie. Again, I
I
know this one because I
it's
looked
been
it
a
up a lot.
year or so now. Like it,
Yeah, yeah.
if you,
The guy, the new Loomis, pretty much, crashes the bus, and because he's obsessed with Michael to let him
Right.
loose.
Right.
And so like getting him out into the like that's a clever way instead of having Michael somehow manipulates everything and gets out on his own.
No,
But
I get
then
it. Like, and that.
the stupidest
Go ahead.
if I the stupidest thing that I think with it is the stupid podcaster.
Well, see, oh, meta, too meta.
Kate literally
um,
just she's sitting by me. She just looked over at me.
no, but like I see that's what I thought was interesting. The beginning of the movie, I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. Like Michael is not just a fucking serial killer since he was 6. Like this mask fucks him up. Like
Mm-hmm.
he needs this mask. It's some fucking weird thing. And I was down for that. I was like, okay, cool. Like let's I don't care. Put some fucking mystism in my in my horror film. I don't care.
Yeah.
But then they didn't explore that. Like after the whole podcast thing was done, they didn't explore that any farther. He killed the podcasters, got his mask back, and then it went back to cut and dry Halloween plot. With yes, the doctor, eventually freeing him again. The whole weird I'm Michael now for that weird 10 minutes. But
The whole the new Loomis.
yeah, the new Loomis. And it was interesting. That was cool, but it was really expected. Like have like
Well,
like I the
also,
minute I saw him, I'm like he's gonna set Michael free at some point in a really stupid way, and I don't know, I exactly was like it was really dumb.
but I also enjoy it because the way they updated it, because again, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff from it, it
Right.
worked. Being instead of relying on the I think it's the Curse of Michael Myers in the theatrical cut of it.
Hmm.
They have a scene where Michael goes on like a murder spree in a hospital room, and it's just strobe lights and gore galore,
Right.
and it is literally the most stupid thing in that like to come out to be we're shocking, we're cool, and it's just like flashing, you can't see anything in it.
Right.
Screw people.
Exactly, yeah. And going back to this one where it's like the goriest kill is when he curb stomps the fucker, and then the flashlight jack-o'-lantern pumpkin head man.
Right.
But it's still like the way it looks, the way and like the way it went again back to basics, where you see Michael in the background of while not paying attention to that. Like
I would
there's
say
the
it
scene
is.
at the scene in the gas station,
Yeah.
where she goes and asks the guy, "Oh, where's the bathroom?" or something like that. You see Michael in the background, literally going ham on the one mechanic in there.
But
Yeah.
well, there again, too, I can agree with you. It is cool to see that, but like that, it's way different than how they did it in the first movie. The first movie was subtle. Like you see the hardware store break in, and then you see Michael's car just kind of drive away. There's no zoom in on it. There's no focus on it. When you see him beating the shit out of the cashier while she walks into the bathroom, like it's pretty focused on that. He is very much the important part of the scene. Even the way it's framed, she's not important in that scene anymore. He is
Well,
now.
I'm talking about the scene where she goes up to the cashier and talks. Like you see him just subtly in the background, like you barely it's like a blink or you miss it when he pops up with the guy's head and goes back down. Because it's
Oh,
focused on the girl talking to the teller.
okay, yeah.
Hmm. Because obviously they want to emphasize like, okay, this is a horror movie. What do? We compared to the subtlety, but they also have those subtleties. And then
Right, right.
also the score of the movie is absolutely fantastic.
No, the score of the movie is great. I loved every bit of music that was in that movie.
Mhm. There was one I saw that like the first time the youngest Strode, like the
You're
new girl
you're,
that they
cut,
introduced.
you're cutting out again.
Oh, hel-
You cut.
hello.
There you
You're also cutting out a little bit.
go. Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's when they come face to face, how they did the cool like this is the first time they've seen like the Jimmy Page bow on guitar move, pretty much.
Right.
Is just so cool, and the way and then also the scene with the motion capture lights right before that, because that works. Michael's as still as a stone and seeing the lights go out, him move, they flick back on, he stands still in a new place. It was a really cool thing. So it may not be the best movie, but it's not anywhere near the worst.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not the worst, but I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it as much as maybe I had too high of expectations for it. I wanted it to be this whole wrap up story, and it ended up being another sequel
Okay.
that leads into another sequel.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's it, but I just didn't enjoy it as much.
hmm But like with that, I could because the YouTube channel that I watch that has a lot of it of the movie is called Dead Meat. They do kill counts of movies, and that was one of them.
Hmm.
And so it was really cool, just to, like, oh, find out little facts here and there about the movie, and watch scenes from the movie as they count bodies in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh. But honestly, like I would probably like if I had to rank it, like I've seen it, but from what I have seen of it and read about it, I would put it under like um I'd put it probably the second or third movie, like top three,
Wait,
solely because
you say you haven't seen it?
I have not, but I know I've read about it and I've seen a lot of things
I
online, and
would.
obviously,
Okay, that changed my thing. I would go watch it because I guarantee then you're gonna have a different opinion.
Mhm,
Because I bet if I would have just seen scenes cut up and everything, I would say it's a pretty good movie too.
mhm.
Because it has great scenes. Overall, it's
Yeah,
boring and drawn out. So I would
I
go watch
plan
it.
on watching it. I easily retract my vote when it if I
Right,
need to.
right.
But as a back to basic returned approach, Carpenter back on board, I would put it top three so far.
Yeah.
Because like the first one is obviously the OG Hell,
Hmm.
and then the second one I would argue maybe either Halloween 2 or uh, maybe even the Rob Zombie Halloween.
Okay.
As weird as that is
The
to say,
most hated Halloween movie. Okay.
no, I'm pretty sure that's the Halloween Resurrection. Or actually, no, that's Halloween 3.
It's between 3 Resurrection and fucking the Rob Zombie reboot. I can tell you that.
I'd like to say it's probably the sequel because that sequel is fucking weird. But no, like the Rob Zombie one was interesting. It wasn't like, oh, it wasn't completely a Rob Zombie film, but it wasn't completely a Carpenter film.
Right.
And the way they took it, like, okay, instead of, oh, he grew up in a home with loving parents, he grew up white trash this time. Like, okay, he has violent tendencies. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. Like, I would rather watch that than Resurrection
Oh yeah.
or Season of the Witch because I even finding out that I don't know if you know this, the Halloween series was supposed to be something in the vein of the Twilight Zone with like
Like
a couple movies for like each type of scenario revolving around Halloween.
so like not even just a Michael Myers story, but just a
Not
Halloween
my no,
story.
like that's why at the end of Halloween 2, after the fire and explosion that kills Michael, or quote unquote, that was actually the end of Michael Myers.
Mm.
And um that's why they went to Season of the Witch, which is the big masquerade, and it
Masquerade.
was
Yeah.
supposed to yeah, it was supposed to be like an anthology type thing of like, oh, this happened on Halloween. But because you had a movie followed directly by a sequel, taking place that same in the same timeline of that other movie, people are like, okay, where's Michael? Why is this not a Michael Myers movie?
Right.
hmm
Well, because I feel like if you set that up and then don't explain it, I mean, yeah, people are gonna be upset about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially 2 movies into that what you want to do. Like at some
hmm
point you have to explain, "Hey, he's dead. We're done." Like,
hmm But no, they went through and made a shit ton of awful movies afterwards.
yeah. You didn't mention It Follows. That's a good one.
Hmm?
It Follows.
What about it?
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one a lot. I actually went back
I
and
do
watched that
enjoy
the
it.
other day and was like, "Oh, this, like, still holds up."
Yeah, it's not
Holds
like
up, it's, like, 3 years old.
yeah, like It Follows is a weird movie. You sit there and you're like, okay, interesting concept. Hit or miss in a sense,
It's
but
it
it wasn't like as bad as people like. Oh, this is one of the worst horror movies to come out. Like, no, it's actually a new idea that I
see,
wish people would expand upon.
I that movie and Bird Box are in the same vein for me because they're both hit or miss with audiences, and it's because
Yeah.
of the same thing. You can't see the antagonist of the story.
Hmm.
Like, that it's the same with Bird Box, same with It Follows. Like, you can't see what's killing these people, and that's what makes it so interesting. You literally know nothing. You know what the characters know. So as they figure shit out,
Yeah.
you figure it out, and that's cool. But if they don't ever
Mhm.
find out what this thing truly is, neither do you, and that's okay. You shouldn't have to know everything about a movie when you watch it.
Exactly. Like Bird Box, I would like because there's the drawings. Like I haven't seen Bird Box, but like again, they did kill count on it, so I've seen a lot about it and I've read a lot about it. But they have like the scene where the guy has all those drawings,
Yeah,
and they're like, okay, how are these dark creatures out in broad daylight making people kill themselves? Like you want to see that actually happen in a sense. So
I
I
can
get
agree
it.
with that. I can agree with that. That yes, it would be cool, and especially because spoiler, there are people. That guy that is drawing the pictures, he is one
Yeah,
of these guys that can actually see them without dying.
exactly.
Um,
Mhm.
and so it would be cool to see, like, to know kind of how that works. But at the same time, I don't care.
You're cutting out a lot.
Sorry.
Okay.
But it's like at the same time, like, it would be cool to know how that works. Like, why can some people see it but some people can't? And
Yeah, that
why?
was what I was gonna say. Why can that happen?
But at the same time, it's like it's just as scary not knowing because then it's like, oh, well, who can I actually trust in this movie? Like, I don't know anything, so maybe this person who just walked into the house, maybe they are actually a bad guy and we shouldn't trust them.
Mhm.
It really takes off that, like, because if you do know who you can trust, you the audience know, it takes away the tension. But it's like you don't know what's going on. Somebody walks into the safe zone that is now set up in this movie, and you're like, well, shit, here we go. Like somebody's about to die, and then nothing
Well, then
happens.
again, also, if you think about it in that vein of, say, the audience did know, oh, that guy was a part, like, oh, there was an off scene of the guy in a cult or
Hmm.
something, like seeing these creatures.
Right.
There would be just an, I would say, I would like to argue that there'd be just enough tension there because the characters don't know, but you
Right.
know, and that's what makes it even worse because you're like, oh, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna go off and kill him, or
But I will say,
and then like,
but then it becomes
like
a thing of like the horror trope of don't go in that closet, don't go in that closet, where the audience
mhm,
knows, but the movie doesn't, and it's frustrating. It's not tense. It's just frustrating because then you're it's like he's obviously gonna kill you. How can you be so dumb? Why are you doing this? Not oh shit, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Is she gonna die? Not my favorite
also
character.
you could also argue that same vein of like, oh, if they do the tropes or don't, but they do it right,
Right. Right.
so it doesn't become the whole, oh, here's the format, go and do that. It
Right.
becomes, oh, like think scary movie, like
Think scary
renaissance of
movie.
horror
You mean the
movies.
movie that plays off of every trope?
No, not scary movie. I meant Scream,
Scream.
but
Okay.
like the first Scream,
So the off-brand scary
where
movie or the actual what scary
the
movie?
original scary movie, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that the renaissance of slasher movies in a sense,
Hmm.
but like you sit there and you're like, oh, there's well, you know this killer. Where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna pop up next? This
Well,
the killer in the mask is the creepy one. And then you get what did that say? I'm loving this
I'm
debate.
loving this debate.
um it gets to like the scene where I can't remember the actor's like Jamie Kennedy,
Hmm.
but he's like laying on the couch watching Halloween
I was
and he's
gonna say
talking
that.
about, oh no, Jamie, don't go in there. And the
Yep.
Ghostface killer's right behind him.
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" And then he disappears, and with the 5-second delay on the video feed, brings an interesting thing like, "Oh, the guy opens the thing, like, oh, I should go check," and it gets his throat slit immediately. Like that is
I would say
tension that works.
Scream does do it does it probably the best way that you could set that up is you've got this
Mhm.
dorky character who knows a lot about horror movies watching a horror movie in a horror movie. It's the best way
But
you could do it to play it off as this is literally just how this could have happened in a real life situation. Like,
but then also like another good one of my new favorite horror movies, like probably not top 10 though, but like a good horror movie, Mom and Dad.
I fell asleep to that. I gotta go watch it again.
I have it, so maybe one
Okay.
time we hang out, I'll bring it and we watch it.
Okay.
But like the parents, pretty much the thing of that is like the parents go crazy
Mhm.
and want to kill their kids. Nobody knows why. Like it's a Bird Box scenario.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no reason for it. And then you get like flashbacks to like, oh, Nicolas Cage is an angry dad and breaks a pool table. Cool. But
Right.
then like it's like a mass genocide of like, oh, these parents want to murder their kids. And you get the stereotypical trope of like, oh, okay, they're probably gonna either they're gonna lose to the kids. But something that happens in the movie, spoiler, is um Nicolas Cage and his the person playing his wife, their parents come and try to murder them.
Mhm.
And then you're sitting there like, what? And it switches back and forth too between the dad trying to murder his son and the grandpa being nice to his grandson, like, oh, like go like to hurt Nick Cage and shove him off, and he's like, oh, how are you doing? And then immediately gets like, it's a big thing, and there's no resolution. Like that's pretty much how the movie ends.
Mhm.
With like the three kids, I think they get in the car and drive off with the parents still alive. If it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's something odd like that, and you're just like, why did that happen?
Right, right.
And there's the whole tense scene is like the kids lock themselves in a basement, and the parents are like trying every way to get in the basement door, and you're like, no, don't do that. And they like get a bunch of power tools and stuff like that. You're like, oh no, get in, and then they don't. Then they almost do.
Yeah, yeah.
So like depending on tropes, you just have to have a director and a movie going like crew that knows what they're doing.
Mhm.
Like take the new It as well. Like if you look at the new It and how they portrayed, oh, creepy house, creepy clown. Oh,
Right, right.
kids are afraid. They don't want to hit the clown. So that's why you can't just say, oh, go up and beat the clown with that steel rod in your hand. Like, oh, they're terrified to. They don't want to go up near it until they actually get the courage to.
Well, I think that I mean it's kind of in its own vein anyway, cause the new one at least, not the old one. The old
Hmm.
one was, but the
The
new
old one's
one,
just weird.
the old one's just weird for weird sake. Um, but the new one, like a lot of, I'm gonna do the house scene, the three doors,
Hmm.
because I think it's the one of the best ways that they use the "what are you doing, you fucking moron" trope. Um,
Yeah.
you got the two kids. I can't remember the names, and I can't even remember which ones they are. But they've got
It's I think it's Bill and
Bill and
Reggie.
yeah, whichever one is
Finn
Finn.
Wolfhard.
Yeah, whichever one is Finn Wolfhard. Um, so you got those two characters, and you've got the three doors. It's like not scary, kind of scary, very scary. Don't open this door. And then like
Not
it's
scary.
they open the not scary door, but it's like they lead up to this as like, oh well, what should we open? Which one should we open? Like obviously this not scary door is gonna be the scariest or whatever. And then they open it anyway, and it's like, oh well, I like you kind of you're playing it in your head as like, well obviously you have to open the not scary door, like or you're like you're doing it along with them like, well which one actually is it going to be, because maybe they're right, maybe this is going to be a trap, maybe it is the very scary door that they should go through, and then they go through it and it's fine. It's like, oh well, that was good, wasn't expecting that. So
Mhm.
I just think it's better when the audience doesn't know. I Cuz it's just I feel like it just adds more tension. It's yes, you could argue that there's different tension when you do know, but I think for like that's you're getting into slasher territory then when you kind of cut the tension out, you're getting into slasher horror. And that's very much, Scream. And that's why Scream works, because it's not really horror, it's just sort of a slasher mystery, I would argue. Like it's not really a horror movie. There's nothing really terrifying about it. It's just kind of guy goes around,
Well,
murders people in town, and you don't know who he
to be
is.
fair, you could argue that for a lot of movies then that they're
Well,
not.
yeah,
like I agree with you in the fact, like, yeah, it is good to not know, but I think it's as long as the movies themselves, whether whichever way they go, are done right
Right.
and are
I think
able to explain, like, not like, oh, this guy is the bad guy because of this. Like, no, like, be able to explain the little things that they do know
mhm.
or the things that they read on or saw before, like the tropes.
Yeah.
Like, You're Next. That movie, which was kind of a, I think, under the radar because it was played up and obviously advertised, but people sat there and were like, "Oh, well, who knows? It's probably not just another blood and gore movie." Where it does show a lot of gore, yes, because it's a 2000 early 2010s movie. Um, it goes with like, oh, there's this. The main plot is there's this family, and they all come along for like a dinner. They talk about things. They bring around their significant others, and they have subtle jabs on each other. When all of a sudden, like a crossbow bolt goes flying into one of the family members,
Oh.
and then immediately, like the quote unquote final girl immediately like shuts, gets everyone down, shuts the curtains, and then in order to tries to shut the curtains but can't. But in order to get across, she has people like, oh, grab this chair, go, grab this chair, go, grab this thing, go, like to get across without getting hit.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, we can make a run to the car. So they open up the front door, and this chick runs for it and garrote wires herself. It's like, oh, how did that get there? And they go through pretty much this whole scenario, people dying one by one, and this chick just like going all out, like setting up nail traps and putting them under the windowsill, making a second one and putting it a little farther so they see it and step closer right on the first one.
Mhm.
And it's just like it's actually interesting to have like a final girl that kind of knows how to survive.
Right. I mean, that's
And like she sets up traps for everything, goes in other ways, distracts the killers, and it's ends up killing I think all of them.
mm.
But yeah, it's like that's a movie that did it right, and not many people knew about it.
Right, right.
Also, The Strangers, the
That's
first one
that's
at
the
least.
one. That's the one with the like the weird like fucking people wearing the bags that look like marshmallow.
The one guy that has a bag, and the two girls that have like a doll face and
Yeah.
pinup girl with a mask,
Yeah.
and they just intrude in, like, get in this home, and all of a sudden just terrorize these people. And like you see them, and you're like, oh my god, that's terrifying. What are they going to do? Oh, they go. This one guy finds a shotgun, and okay, he goes hides in his room with his wife. All of a sudden, his best friend comes in and blows off his head instead of a killer.
Yeah.
So it's just like being able to do it right is a big thing that a lot more directors and stuff should do.
But yeah, no, I get it. I just think, and I think the problem is too. I just think the problem is too much is explained in movies now, and
Yeah,
that's not even just horror movies. That's every movie. Everything
a
has to be
lot of movie.
explained.
Yeah.
Like, and if nothing's explained, it's gonna be explained elsewhere, and it's just why?
Hmm.
Why did you need that explained? Like,
Like we need more. Like we need a resurgence in like movies and how they're made and stuff because like even though you talked about how you wanted to see the Big Eye animated live action thing, the
mhm,
Battle Angel movie,
the Alita Battle
you
Angel.
know there's gonna be so much explanation, so much exposition,
Right.
and
I
like,
well, yeah, but that's every
or at
movie
least
now.
you
So
could
it like
think,
it's
yeah. But like you're gonna get like way too much background that you need to take a test on this
right. Well, that's why I
as
don't like
to like.
that's why I
Mhm.
really don't like the new Star Wars movies as much because that's all they are. They're just exposition. Like we're going on to the last movie in the trilogy and we're still expositing 3 movies into this trilogy.
What are they expositing? I can't remember.
Like they're still explaining everything about this new world that they're building with this trilogy. But I still don't care about any of the characters.
Yeah.
They're world building, but they're not character building, and they're putting too much focus on their old characters. So they're explaining
Hmm.
everything that's going on in this world, but not these characters. And so I all these characters are dying, and I don't care. Like
Hmm.
everybody could die in this next movie, and I'd be like, cool. At least the movie was
Like
cheap.
all the old characters, like it hurts when you see it, like Han and Luke, because you're like, oh, we've seen 3, 4 movies with them,
Right
and now they're gone.
now they're gone.
As compared to like the new, like, I understand, like, seeing uh Ray, and she's like, oh, where's she come from? Oh, no one knows. Okay, but we're gonna focus on that. Like, oh, who am I? Turns out to be nothing. It's just like, okay.
That's where I was going with that. I hate that movie. I actually don't hate, but I don't like that movie because of that. It was like, and I know everybody's happy about that. It's like, oh, she doesn't need it. She doesn't need her story explained. Then just don't
Mhm.
explain the story.
Exactly.
Don't
Like,
make a big deal about her coming from nothing.
hmm
Just don't do anything with it. Just do
hmm
just use her as a character. Use her as a good character, not
yeah.
stand in
No.
I'm a female
Mhm.
protagonist. Look at me. Like it's just
Like, no one knew who Luke was from until, oh, your
yeah,
Vader killed your father. Oh, okay, cool. That's all we needed to
and
know.
that's
And
all we
then
got. It was like
the
Vader killed your
second movie
father.
expanded. I'm like, oh, I am your father. Oh, whoa, there's a family dynamic. But like with this one, it was like, oh, she's on a desert planet, like Luke was. Okay, cool. She's doing a bunch of badass things and selling junk for quarter portions by Simon fucking Pegg.
Yeah.
Um, and like, okay, cool. She's a Jedi. She goes through. She fights. She kicks ass, and then she's gone.
And
Cool.
they
Second movie, they oh, your parents are nobody. Your parents are nobody. Who are my parents? Nothing shows up. I was just like, what? Why? Why not just have it actually? Not just have like the first thing happen. Like, oh, your parents were nobody. Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, I'm saying like it's just well, and like both movies led up to so much for her character in that
hmm
way that like she was gonna be be the daughter of some big Jedi like Kenobi or whatever everybody thought.
hmm
And it's like they built up to this and then shot everyone in the fucking head and they're just like, "Yeah, she's nothing." Get it? We circumvented your
So
expectations
then
because we're
again,
cool
so
like that.
far. Then again, so far because there's still, like we said, there's one more movie and then possible another trilogy.
But why should I care?
And
Like
like,
why should I care? Like okay, like
exactly.
because like okay, spoiler alert for the end of Last Jedi. They
Everyone dies.
they're fighting, well, kind of. They're fighting on the ship, the whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Um
big ship, big boy ship.
big boy ship and whatever, Bernie. I tried to plug my channel to her and she just goes, "What is Twitch?" um
How do you twitch?
but yeah, so they're Ray and what's his name? Kylo are on the big boy
hmm
ship fighting the big
hmm
boy boss man.
The big
Snoke,
boy boss man.
Supreme Leader
No, no,
Snoke.
no,
No, no,
no. We're keeping big boy
big,
boss man.
big boy. They're fighting Big Boy Boss Man,
Can we get a petition to rename Snoke Big Boy Boss Man?
and well, he's dead now, so he didn't care. Um, and I thought that,
Dead boy boss man.
and that was that the killing Snoke scene was a cool scene
hmm
because it I that hurts to hear. What hurts to hear? Big Boy Boss Man.
Dead boy boss man.
But like, what was I saying? It's a cool scene because like you think Snoke is this all powerful Jedi. Oh my stutter. You think Snoke is this all powerful Jedi, and then you watch him get killed by his own thing. It's cool. It's reminiscent of
hmm
the Palpatine story, the Darth Plagueis the Wise story,
Yeah.
and we actually see it. But at the same time, it's like you just built up this guy to be the most powerful Force user in the entire galaxy now. Why did some emo kid just fucking kill him with a lightsaber trick?
Well, then again, also that can go back to as
I
like
unless they
that an example, the exposition thing. Like, oh, would it have been better to have a giant, elaborate eulogy written out to, oh, this is how it happened, or would it be better to just, oh, he's this all powerful Jedi guy? Got
but
it. He
but
got killed by his apprentice. Got it.
I mean I in that sense with Snoke, yes, I would have liked more exposition
Like,
because
I understand too. I would like a little bit more. Like, okay,
it's
who
that's the
he
thing
is,
where
because
like we don't know about the characters, we just know about the world. We know the First Order
hmm
is this branch of the Empire. Like it's not actually the
hmm
Empire, it's a branch. We know that the Resistance is the rebellion, like the actual proper rebellion after
hmm
the New Republic. Like that's what we know, and we know all these worlds and all these bases and shit. But we keep finding like we don't know who Kylo and Rey are, and they're supposed to be they are now the protagonist and antagonist going into this last movie.
Mhm.
We don't really know who Finn is apart from he is a divergent um
Stormtrooper guy
stormtrooper. Poe is
or
just
ex
a
Stormtrooper.
he's an ex stormtrooper. Poe is
Poe
just
is
a
just a
pilot.
handsome Han Solo guy.
He's Han Solo Mark II.
Mhm.
So it's like I don't really care about these characters. Like
Mhm.
why? And I don't know. I wish we had more about the characters than the world.
Mhm. Like I understand, like it goes back to filmmaking and stuff like proper character arcs.
Yeah.
Being able to have, oh, this happened to this character. Got it. This is where she is now. Got it. As opposed to, oh, here's this character. Okay, we got it. Don't know nothing about her through 2 movies and find out even less, even though when they linger on a certain point for so long. Why though?
Yeah.
I would still say, as much as a lot of people hate it, like Last Jedi is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, solely because the way it looks, the way it like, there's a lot of the slow parts, but all the action things are like, I want more of
No,
those
see
because
that's it's good. Like the music is great. Probably the best music in the entire this trilogy so far. Out of the two movies, probably
I
the best music.
I would still, out of the 2 movies, yeah,
Out of the two
but out
movies,
of the
not
whole
not out
series,
of the
I
whole
would say
series. No, not out of the whole
Phantom
series.
Menace, hands down.
Uh, I would say A New Hope, but whatever.
Duel of the Fates, man. Come on.
But Binary Sunset, the Jedi
What did you say?
theme, Binary Sunset, and the Jedi theme, the that
Yeah, but you hear them a lot throughout the series, though.
but it's a good song. Like it's
It's a good song, but being able to use it a lot, yes,
yeah, yeah.
okay, cool. But being able to have like a one-off soundtrack is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Duel of Fates is a great song. I will give you that.
Also, if we want to be technical, and as much as everyone hates it, it's not a song, it's a piece.
I don't fucking care.
Anywho's it.
But yeah, the music is great. The camera work is
Action
great. The
scenes,
action is
camera work.
great. The visuals are great. Like
Hmm.
everything not fucking important to the
Character
movie.
related.
Everything not important to the movie is great. And it
Hmm.
is. It is a good movie visually and like, effects wise it is a great movie.
Hmm.
But
It's just
just the
the
story, I
development,
I'm
yeah.
just not interested. Like, and that's me. Like, of all people, I'm not interested.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Ugh. Just like long running series need to know how, like, need to take a step back and know, okay, this is what happened. This is like kind of like if we want to talk about Halloween again, like they retcon the whole thing again. Like, okay, let's restart. What do we want on this movie? Just the last one, and now this one. Got it.
Which
Cool. That
Halloween
works.
does kind of a good job because it's like, oh, I heard that they were brother and sister, yada
Yeah,
yada,
they do callbacks
and
to
they do a
everything.
little callback and it's just a quick 2 minute scene and it's good. Like that's good. It's a good way
Hmm.
of just getting rid of it because like, oh no, those are just stories, and then you're like, all right, cool, this is fresh. This is immediately
Hmm.
after the first one. I'm in. I'm good. Like that's all I needed.
Hmm. And then like Star Wars, like if you have something that's long running and completely connected, oh, completely connected, as in like Star Wars, you got, okay, we had the original trilogy. The movies worked. Return was a little lackluster, but it wrapped it up neatly. Then Lucas was like, okay, I want to revitalize them. I want to put some backstory in it. Everyone's like, cool. And then we got the prequel trilogy, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
But as you
But
grew,
it did
as
get
you
a,
grew up, you realize they're not that terrible of movies,
except for episode 2, which I still
except for
despise.
episode
Anywho,
two. Yeah,
yeah, it does work, even though there's a long, boring scene of, oh, there's political propaganda, shit like this.
right.
Okay, we get it, but it does what it needs to do. Anakin becomes Vader. Palpatine becomes Sidious. The Jedi are killed.
The Jetty.
Obi-Wan picks up the lightsaber. Shut up. And then we had stuff like the Clone Wars, where it's like, oh, cool, all this happened. Like
I
it expanded upon it, and then we got the the Force Awakens, which is
I mean,
after everything.
I can see where you're going with this, and I can agree, but at the same time, the the sequel trilogy, this new trilogy, is now following
Mhm.
the same mistakes that the prequels did. And
Yeah, I'm about to get to that.
yeah, because
It's like
go
it
ahead.
wants to. Yeah, sorry, it wants. I know what you're trying to. I think I do. It wants to build up and be like, okay, here are these new characters that you don't know about, but they're supposed to be cool. For the first
Mhm.
movie, it works, and then it would be nice to have a little background on people. Like the only one we really got background on was Finn because stormtrooper taken at a young age, and now rebellion person. Cool. What about everyone else?
Right.
And then we get to the sequel, and it's like, oh, he's still that guy, and he's still trying to run away. He's doing the same beats as the last one. He's just trying to be on his own, but he doesn't.
Mhm.
And then you get the new love interest, and then Haldo. You still don't know about Poe at all. Like, oh, got it.
That's Hey, welcome back, Cake. We're just
Welcome back.
discussing movies. That's the other thing. Haldo, terrible fucking character.
Hmm.
Awful, awful character. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you're in the military and like that is exactly what would happen in the military. I don't want that much fucking realism in my movie. You've got your fucking star pilot and you know he's your star pilot and he just had a little petty scuff with someone who is now should be dead. Sorry, she should not be able to force fucking fly her way back into a starship.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna dive. That's a whole other rant in its
Hmm.
own. But you know, you've got your command. Like he was a commander. He was Commander Poe. He
Hmm.
should know exactly what is going on.
And yeah, I do agree with like, yes, in military things, it's
And
common for a person ahead of them to be able to tell them or not, but at least let them know you're doing
I
something.
I was gonna say that this it's just one of those things that like everything in this movie could have been avoided had. And I don't think. And I truthfully don't think Johnson knew what he wanted to do with Haldo. It almost
Mm-mm.
everything in the movie almost feels like Haldo was supposed to be maybe a traitor or something.
Hmm.
Like everything leading up to her big redeemable moment, which the only thing cool about was the visual effects.
Oh my
Um,
god, it was such a good effect.
but like I really don't think they knew what they wanted to do with her character, and so she seemed like she was supposed to be some traitor, but really she was just keeping information from Poe. That way we could pad our 2 hour runtime that we have.
Hmm. That's like the one thing that makes me not like it because they pad it so much.
Hmm.
Is because you got the whole
And
side quest to Kanto, and as pointless as that is, they could have wrapped that up in like, oh, we'll focus on cut back to it, now we're done. Instead of cutting back to it like 3 or 4 times before they get back to the ship.
hmm well, and it's something that led to nothing. Like
Hmm.
it really did nothing for the story. They could have just said, "Hey, we couldn't find the Imperial hacker, like we're done." Like we did not have to see them go and do a bunch of shit just
Hmm.
to find out that it didn't work anyway. Like it Yes, you could say they found DJ. Cool. You can say, "Hey, we found this fucking hacker guy." And then you can cut right to them talking to DJ. Like that then you can actually show them. If they're not doing anything that is essential to this main plot, I don't fucking need it.
Hmm.
We're talking about
Like,
the sequel trilogy for Star Wars Cake.
we're on the Last Jedi,
Oh, yeah, we're
but
talking about The
yeah,
Last
like
Jedi.
when you look at it, it's like the Last Jedi is essentially following a lot of mistakes as Attack of the Clones, where they have a lot of great action, but it is padded to shit. And a lot of the exposition that is given isn't worth it in the end.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it gives such a big divide on people too. Is like because everyone's like, oh, excuse me, this movie's shit, or oh, this movie is a god. It's like it's okay to have it also be just a good movie. Not great, not the best, but good.
Right. No, I mean it's yeah. I want to say it's a good movie. The first time I seen it in theaters, I thought it was good. I went back
Hmm.
and watched it because it was on Netflix. So I went back and watched it, and this
Hmm.
is my second time watching it. I was like, oh, I'm bored. Like,
Hmm.
and I wouldn't even go as far to say as like, oh, it's got too many jokes. Like, if it wouldn't have had those jokes, I would have been out.
Yeah,
I
right.
would I would not have sat through it. Yes, some of them were a little unnecessary, and I rolled my eyes at them, but it was like I in that moment of rolling my eyes, I got a little bit of enjoyment out of it, just because it was like it was a little break in just at hour-long monotony to that point.
Hmm. Yeah, and like I honestly did enjoy Ray's trip at the islands Luke was on, and sure it was like okay, let's. Luke's going around and he's giving up the Force. Okay, cool. He's milking the teat of a creature. Okay, unnecessary, but
See,
it's
that's
what he does now.
it was all of that. A lot of that was like, yeah, it was like cool. Luke's giving up the Force. Cool, that's all I need. If he's still like he's giving up the Force, but he's willing to train her. Cool, that's all I need. Luke then proceeds to suck the teat of some weird space cow. Hold on, Ryan, you fucking lost me here. Like,
Whoa,
and
whoa.
it leads back to this just this mentality that was going around in the time of filming of like, hey, bet you guys weren't expecting that. Were you? Like, we got you with
Hmm.
that one, didn't we? And it was like, you didn't. We didn't want you to get us. We wanted you to fucking tell a coherent story.
And also, like you said there, like Chewbacca was there the whole time, and so was R2. Sure, it would have
Yeah.
been like
No.
impossible for R2 to
R-
like what?
was R2 there? I thought R2 was
Yeah, he
back
was on
with.
the Millennium Falcon
Oh,
the
okay.
entire time
Okay.
because at the end of Force Awakens they sent Ray, Chewbacca, and R2.
Oh, okay.
The only people you need.
Obviously.
But
No,
R2 was
apparently
just
you only
chilling in the
need
ship the
Ray.
whole time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like Chewbacca could easily just picked up the damn droid, or even we've seen R2 navigate a lot worse area throughout the entirety of the 6 movies,
Yeah.
and we could have easily just had him like attempt to get over there. Fucking Dagobah,
Right.
and we see this place has stairs, which he's navigated countless times now, and like if they really wanted like to like, oh, okay, they need help. Like, okay, reluctancy to train. Show a couple of the scenes of Luke being an old hermit. Okay. Show Chewbacca ripping down the door, but show R2 showing the clip after the thing, but like have R2 around more too, because that'd probably persuade Luke even more.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked Luke's character. I thought they did a good job with Luke.
I did too.
I really have no complaints about anything about Luke. I thought it really was a good character. Um,
Hmm.
he's 30 years older. Like he's gonna be, and you find out,
Grouchy.
yeah, he's gonna be an old man. Like he's not this same stellar war hero that he was when he was a teenager. So
Hmm.
like it's interesting to see that, and you find out later that he was attempting to murder, like he had the thoughts of murdering Kylo to prevent the dark side. So you
Hmm.
can, and that is a pretty good story. I really don't have any complaints with that backstory either for Kylo.
Hmm.
That's pretty good. I thought that was interesting. It's like, oh, like this is really how far Luke has come, that he's willing to commit murder at this point.
Hmm.
I really didn't have any problems with that. Like that was a circumvent, that was a gotcha moment that I was like, oh man, you got me. But I don't know. It's just so much of it doesn't make sense when you watch it like more than once.
Hmm.
And if I could just cut it down into all the enjoyable bits, it'd be a great movie. But then and even like the Force communication, that was cool. That was
Yeah.
really cool. I love that. Like I love that now we're still kind of showing what the Force can do. Like it's
Hmm.
not it's not this set in stone thing. Like, oh, they can't do that because they didn't do it in A New Hope. Like we're still
Hmm.
writing the story about what the Force actually is, and that's cool. I enjoy that.
Hmm. But also, like one thing I watched recently was on YouTube 10 blatant like movie things that um l- pretty much what it was is like, oh, subtle things that the directors did on purpose that made you like, oh, this is connected to this. And one of them was with the Last Jedi. It was when Luke appeared on that salt planet,
Hmm. Great.
and he was like goes up toe to toe with Kylo. He didn't leave any footprints.
Yeah.
If you look and notice it, where um like it extensively shows Kylo running and leaving a bunch of footprints. There are no footprints left behind him when he walks up to the area.
Hmm.
So like doing subtle things like that are like interesting to see because oh, what's he doing? Oh my god, he's using the fucking force.
Oh my god, he's using the fucking force.
Yeah. And then he uses all of his power, he drains himself and floats away.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was like honestly a really good send off. Like he did all he could to help them all get out and escape and then took off.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think that's what the sequel trilogy has strong at the moment is the old characters and how they die.
That's what it's got strong in general is its old characters.
Because like
That's
you
its
go to
biggest problem is because there again I don't care about the new characters because I've got my old
Mhm,
characters.
exactly. I think that's why the first movie really hit it off was because you got Han, even though Harrison Ford absolutely loathes the series by now.
Right.
Um, but like, oh, him and Leia had a son. Luke tried to teach the son, and then the son goes evil. That's a good story.
Mhm.
Got it. Check that off. And then they meet up after being separated for X many years when it's just Han and Chewie again.
Mhm.
And he goes over to they see each other. It's like, oh, try to bring our son home. Okay, cool. Goes out on the sled, and then obviously you can be predictable, like, oh, he's gonna die. But like watching it for the first time, and if you didn't have it spoiled, Alex fucking Miller, um, um, like you see the son actually like physically conflicted.
Yeah, I mean, see there again, and I don't like that they switched directors so much. It's weird you guys are literally saying the
Mhm,
opposite of my friend, but both of you and my friend hate the movie. um, I don't like that they switched directors for both movies and then they're going back to Abrams because I feel like we would have gotten a different story if Abrams would have directed the
all three.
the Last Jedi. Yeah,
Mhm,
because it was like I know he says that like that's what he wanted anyway, like he was gonna do that, but it's like sure you say that now that it's done and over with, like you can't you're directing the last one, you can't say that you didn't want to do it that way. Like
mhm.
it's
But
I can almost guarantee that we would have had a different story had it been the same director's idea and story that he was building. But because
mhm,
we have Johnson building off of Abrams, then it's like, well, it's two different styles, and you can see that too. I mean, you can see the clashing of styles if you like
mhm,
you watch the movies back to back, you can tell they're two different directors,
mhm.
and
And I guess you could.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. I guess you can also say like it's what it's what the original did because if you look back at
Yes,
who
they
directed the three movies, like okay, cool, and I guess you can also see the shift in tone, but it's not as drastic because they worked so close knits together.
I was gonna
Lucas
say
and
it was Lucas and Kasdan,
what's his other
Kasdan,
Caston? Yeah.
Lawrence Kasdan. They had already
Hmm.
worked together anyway. Kasdan was on A New Hope. Kasdan
Hmm.
was going to be on Last Jedi. Kasdan just ended up directing and writing
Hmm.
Empire Strikes Back. So like they already worked together, but you get this one. It was like, hey, let's get J.J. Abrams. He's never worked with Star Wars before. Hey, let's get Ryan Johnson. He's never worked with J.J. Abrams or Star Wars before. So it's like
Hmm.
Kasdan had worked
Yeah.
on Star Wars before, and that's where it was different. He knew already where the
Exactly.
story was going.
Hmm.
Man, can you tell how passionate I am about Star Wars?
Can you see how passionate we are about movies?
Can you see how passionate we are about movies? We have nothing else to fucking do with our lives.
Welcome to the Anything and Everything podcast.
Well,
Includes a couple of things we did today, some local bands you should check out, and
and
then movies.
movies. Now do prequels. I'm down to
And
talk about the prequels.
I'm down too. I mean, prequels were there.
They're there.
Prequels were a movie.
No, I definitely. I mean, I'm younger. When you were younger, you definitely hated them. Like, or you liked them. You liked them when you were a kid, and then you grew up, and it was the cool thing to hate them.
Hmm. And now you're actually making
I was
movies.
like, now that you watch them again, and they're still not great. I mean, they're memey to shit.
No, not at all. Mm-mm.
But like, you can still watch it and enjoy it. If
Yeah.
even for the meme aspect of it, you can still enjoy it.
Hmm.
It still tells a better story. I mean, it's still
It tells a linear. complete the
It
story with
still is an
enough
actual
things.
like, yes, we already know where the story's going anyway, it's completely irrelevant, we got the same backstory, um,
This movie
basically,
discussion has been going on for,
this yeah,
and
this
I'm
movie
still entertained.
basically, yeah, but yeah, we got the same explanation in 6 hours that we got in 6 minutes from, Empire.
Mhm.
So, yes, it wasn't necessary, but it was good. Like,
They're just so passionate.
they're just so passionate. No, we started talking about Halloween. Somehow we ended up on Star Wars.
Well, it's because I threw out examples, and then
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talked
and then we
about,
started talking about
which then again, we were on Halloween
we,
15
we
minutes.
were on Halloween for a long fucking time. I can only talk about so much Halloween. I've not seen every fucking movie like you have.
Oh, that's great.
um,
Ugh.
but fuck, what was I saying? But they're good stories at least. I mean, yes, 2 is
Mhm,
awful. You can cut out all the filler in 2 and it's a better story than it should have been or than it actually was.
mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with the prequels anymore. There have been many passionate words tonight.
Like, honestly, I guess the best way to describe all the movies in the Star Wars, like, logical, these are canon type things is like the first 3 movies are the OG. Like, no one can come close to touching them. The
Yeah,
prequels
yeah.
are there, and you enjoy them, you take them for what they are. They just add some backstory. The the 2 sequel movies are, the sequel trilogy so far is just needs a lot of help. And then Rogue One and Solo are just there to add some
Oh,
filler.
Don't even get me started on Rogue One and Solo. You know what? Fuck it. Get me started on Rogue One and Solo. Terrible, awful, no good, very bad movies.
Really?
I hate it. Like, I enjoyed Rogue One when I first seen it because I was like, oh, cool. We're like, it was that mentality of,
Mhm.
oh, cool. We're getting a story about the Death Star plans, and then it was awful. Like, I didn't care about the characters at the end of it, and it was already a long movie. It is a long fucking
Mhm.
movie. And yet I don't care about the characters at the end of that movie. You can use the JP argument of, "Oh, well they're dying anyway, so why should you care?" Because they're a movie. Like they are dying. I want
The
to
trailer was good though.
it's exactly. The trailer was good. And again, the movie has great redeemable parts. I love when they
Mhm.
try to crash the Hammerhead ship into the shield gate just to try and open it for a split second so some X-wings can get through. That's awesome. I love that. I don't care about the characters. Fucking a planet was destroyed. An Imperial planet was destroyed by an Imperial base. I don't care.
See, for me, like Rogue One is one of them. Like, if you like, say you're binge watching it, you add it. Okay, it's part of the thing technically.
I would say it's
But
it's one of those things that's like,
you
okay,
kind
it's part of
that's
the
the one you go
thing.
to the bathroom on. That's the one you go to the bathroom
Yeah, yeah.
because like you know what happens because the prequel trilogy and or OG trilogy, like you don't need 2 and 2 to like, oh, okay, because they show the physical plans in I think 2, and then they show it the
Episode
Death
2
Star being
shows
built
episode
in
2 shows the Death Star plans. Episode 3 shows it being built. Yep.
shows the Death Star being built. So like Rogue One has to take place the very beginning segment of it take has to take place like in between those 2 things.
Right.
And then the rest of it takes place right before New Hope.
Yeah,
And
literally
like, yeah, the
minutes
characters
before A New
are
Hope.
unforgettable except for like K2SO.
No, they are forgettable. They are forgettable characters. They're not unforgettable characters. I don't even remember their names.
Jyn Erso,
Thank you.
K2SO,
Thank you.
um, Sniper Man,
There's
Big Boy Gun,
there's Jyn Erso, K2SO, Mexican Gunman, um,
Big Boy Gun Man,
Chinese Eep Man, IP Man, um,
man.
Eep Man,
But
and
like
then
the way it,
Machete.
um, the way it works, like I enjoy the story about how like okay, as stupid as it is, like they fight. It's sad when K2SO dies, and then I like how they kill everyone because no one mentions them before, no one cares about them.
Yeah,
So
I mean, yeah,
might as well just kill them off.
they had to wrap it up like that anyway. I can understand killing them off. It's just
They're
their
if
deaths meant nothing to me. Like
mhm,
they literally just passed on the plans to destroy the world's strongest super weapon and then died.
mhm,
Like they are actual heroes of the Republic, but it's like cool, they're a bunch of no names anyway. Why should I fucking care? Luke's the one that blows it up, right? So like that's the thing.
twice
It
or no once.
no, Lando blew it up the second time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um so just they didn't build their characters. And it's the same way with Solo. I mean, like you already know who Han Solo is and they're running off that. Like that they know and Alden Ehrenreich, whatever his last name is a great actor. I think he's a great Han Solo because he doesn't try to
Mhm.
emulate Harrison Ford.
Han.
Yeah, he doesn't try
Yeah.
to emulate
Or
Han.
Harrison.
He doesn't try to emulate Harrison Ford. He just
Mhm.
plays a Han Solo character, which is great. I mean, he does a great job.
Mhm.
But I just like it's just hey, here's Lando. You know him. You know they bought he stole they traded the ship, the Millennium Falcon. You know the Millennium Falcon. Here's some guy. You know you don't care about him either. He's running some big score and he needs a team. He's gonna turn on Han though. Don't worry, we already got that covered. It's
The
just
Darth Maul's in it for a second.
is he really? I was not paying that.
Uh,
I was like
apparently,
I was say I was
I
not
haven't
paying
seen
that
it,
much
but
attention.
someone I've seen a lot of things that said Darth Maul makes a cameo real quick with like his metal legs.
How where is that movie supposed to be set?
It's
Is
set
it supposed
obviously
to be
in
like a
between the.
Clone Wars movie? Like a Clone
I
Wars?
That's what I think so. I think it because the Clone Wars obviously take place during the Clone
It's
Wars.
between 2 and 3, yeah.
Yeah. And then some things like Rebels takes place right after,
R-
I think.
Rebels is right after 3.
Right after 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And Darth Maul does make appearances in that too.
In Rebels?
I think so.
I he
If
no,
the animation
he
because
makes appearances in Clone Wars. Clone Wars is
I
his
know
big
that.
return.
Yeah, but then I believe because there's this thing that always like circles around like the Sith posting Facebook group and then the Reddit stuff that's like Darth Maul and Obi-Wan meeting again, and it's like the Rebels
Oh, yeah,
animation.
you're right. I do remember that now. Yeah.
So that's like his last thing. So it has to take place
It's
between
somewhere between.
there
So
and the New Hope.
I guess it could be then just right after 3 then too. Like it's
Hmm.
which would make sense because how long is it?
Yeah,
It's like what, 14, 15 years between 3 and
there's
4?
like 20 years, I
Yeah,
think.
so like it the time is there, I guess.
Hmm. And then all the other sequel movies are now, or little filler movies are now canceled
Wait, which ones?
because they were the ideas of like, oh, we're gonna do a Boba Fett movie, maybe we'll do a Kenobi movie, which
No
everyone
one,
wanted.
no one. They weren't ever talking about doing a Kenobi. They never actually said that. Everyone got on a board with a
Well, yeah, but
imaginary.
they were doing a
They were
third
doing a Boba Fett.
movie.
Bobo Fett.
That yeah, they were gonna a
Bo
Boba Tea.
Boba the monkey. Bobo the monkey. The
Yeah,
Fett.
they were gonna do a Boba Fett, and they wanted to do more anthology. That's the word. Movies.
Yes, they wanted to do more anthology movies, and everyone assumed that meant Kenobi.
But then after like everyone boycotted Solo because Last Jedi divided so many people, they're like, okay, fine, no more for you.
I Good. I don't want anthology movies. Like I don't want anthology movies if it means we're gonna get stories about characters we already know and events we already
See,
know. Like
the only yeah.
it's just a thing of like I already know what's happening. I can't be interested in a
Mhm.
story that I know what's happening.
Like I haven't seen Solo, but like the story I want to see, and I've seen a theory about the
It's
robot like is actually what flies the Millennium Falcon.
it's it, yes, I have seen that. Um,
Hmm.
Basically the
But
movie is the
like,
Kessel Run. It's the events of the
yeah,
Kessel Run.
exactly.
So
Like that is what makes me want to see it. Like, okay, we've heard about it. I want to see it. Cool.
honestly, I don't
Like
know. Like it's
whether
the
they
thing of
do
like
like short things and like an overarching like, okay, here's a movie. Here are segments that you people wanted to see
right.
that take place chronologically. Add them as you go. Okay, cool.
Yeah. No.
Or yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. It just I'm not happy with the way Star Wars movies have developed at all anymore. Like it I waited for years in between 3 and
3 was what, like
3 and
2008 or
7.
9?
3 was 2008 because or 2007 because then episode 7 came out in 2017 because it came out when I was a senior.
Ah.
Because I remember running up and down the band room watching the trailer like 10 fucking times in the band room when it dropped. Wilson was just fucking laughing at me the entire time.
Well, who wouldn't?
I mean, everyone was laughing at me, but I was excited. Fucking, it was 10 years.
Mhm.
And now it's all shit. Not all. It's not all
Like,
shit, but it's just it's.
If you take the movies for what they are, they're good. If you want to be upset with them about, oh, okay, they should have done this better, and be able to make logical arguments, yes, they're bad as well. But
Yeah, they are good. Like I said it about something else too. By itself, it's a great. Oh, I said it about Bohemian Rhapsody. By itself, it's a good movie. The
Mhm.
story is okay. Characters are okay for being a solo movie. You don't lump it in with something else. It's just a solo movie. The
yeah,
story is okay. The characters are okay. Visuals are great. Music is great. Everything about it, like that, in that way, is great. But with
mhm.
Bohemian Rhapsody, the thing with me is that's not it. It's not a solo movie. It's a movie based on something else. So with Last
Yeah.
Jedi, it's a movie based off The Force Awakens. With Bohemian Rhapsody, it's a movie based off Queen. I'm gonna start talking about Bohemian Rhapsody for a little bit. Um,
Go ahead.
like it's a movie about Queen, but yet you watch it, it's like, oh, this is all Freddie Mercury. And it's like
What?
it was all Freddie Mercury.
Mhm.
You didn't get anything about anybody else apart from maybe the first 20 minutes when they were actually writing Bohemian Rhapsody. Everything after
Mhm.
that was, oh, here, hey, remember Freddie Mercury was gay. Remember that? Like, remember all the gay shit he did? Remember all the cocaine he did? Remember all the gay shit he did? Remember all the cocaine he did? Like, that was the movie past writing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Cocaine and gays. Got
I,
it.
I mean, that's what they were pushing. I'm not even shitting you. It was, you
Can we
watch
name
him.
that? Can we just change the name of
It
the
was-
podcast right?
co-
Cocaine and gays,
the cocaine and gay podcast.
where one of us has cocaine and the other one is gay. Well, I have cocaine, so
Oh well. It's him, officer. It's his Twitter handle is at pdillystyle. His name is Patrick.
Twitch bots, get them.
Twitch bots, get him. Oh my god, there's like fucking like 10-ish minutes left in this podcast. That's how long we were fucking rambling.
It's our
We
podcast.
we can, but I just don't want to drag it on and be bored.
I feel that. It'll give us time to save for the next
I would say
movie
if we blow our load today, we're not gonna have anything to talk about. Possibly when we reschedule this to fucking tomorrow. By the way, this should be every Monday now. Every Monday at 6. That's gonna be the schedule that works best for us. So stop by every Monday at 6 now. And I'll make sure to put it. My schedule is in the info panel below the video. There's a couple of them already. There should be today's and then next week's. I'm gonna make sure I get those scheduled in there so that you can see them. Maybe don't talk
Maybe don't
about
talk
Star
about
Wars.
Star Wars. Hey,
Yeah,
the title is anything and everything.
except Star Wars.
That's our tagline.
That's our
except Star
tagline.
Wars.
Except Star Wars. Oh,
Ugh.
fuck. Plus, I want to kind of stop at 8 because
Hmm?
my throat is starting to get destroyed now.
Good shit, boys.
Good shit, boys.
Ugh. But yeah, honestly, that's what I'm kind of like wondering what's gonna happen because all people are like, "Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody is gonna be about Queen, and there's nothing gonna be about AIDS." And then they're like,
And
because the
that's
director's like, "Oh yeah, there's nothing about AIDS," and it's like, "Oh, Freddie Mercury has AIDS and he's gay with cocaine." Excuse me.
yeah, that's it. So much passion destroys throats. Exactly,
So
Cake. Exactly.
so if you take that and like you think of other like people's movies portraying
I said
like think of the Doors movie.
they're doing Rocket Man this year, and I'm worried about that one.
Exactly. I'm excited for that just because okay, Elton John lives a weird fucking life, man.
Right.
That gay cocaine man is
I would say there again, it's gonna be another gay cocaine man movie that.
but I think the difference with that one is going to be there's no band.
I would say the
It's
difference with that one
just
is they
Elton.
can make it all about gay cocaine man because that's all Elton John
It
was.
is
He
gay
wasn't
cocaine.
he wasn't gay cocaine band. He was gay cocaine man. So it's gonna be a movie all about him. Queen was a
And
whole
it's like
band, and we only got Mercury. Which one was bi
when
and
we
which one
had
was gay?
the one Doors movie I watched, it had like Val Kilmer playing Jim Morrison. Like
Kilmore.
it focused on shut up. It focused on Jim Morrison instead of the Doors.
Yeah,
And like obviously Jim Morrison led a goddamn
he
life.
led a life. He
Hmm.
he did shit in his life.
So like you can say like okay, doing a Doors not including things about Jim Morrison is one thing, but then doing a Doors movie literally titled like The Doors something.
Hmm.
I can't remember what I need to look it up later, but even titled The Doors something, it was like Jim Morrison goes
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
shows penis multiple times, gets drunk and drugs others, and ends up dying in a bathtub.
yeah.
The end. And you're just like, excuse me? Did you just do this?
What do you mean? Which one was bi and which one was gay? Kate?
I mean, if you want to get technical, Freddie Mercury was bi,
He
and he
was
just
he
ended
was
up with a man.
he was bi. Yeah.
And Elton John is gay because he's fucking married to
Oh,
a man
I
now.
think that's what he was asking. Or yeah, that's what he was asking. Yeah,
Mhm.
Freddie Mercury was bi and Elton John was gay. Yeah, now that
But yeah.
Patrick said it, that made sense to me. Yeah.
Mhm. Ugh. But like, I also think like you do see these
Yes.
types of movies and like, oh, this is how this was made. Cool.
Hmm.
And then you listen to the music, like the actual band CD, and you're like, huh. Even though like a lot of the things in nonfiction tales are fiction
Hmm.
or exaggerated to a point, it's like you can kind of see how that like led to this album.
Right.
Like you listen to the Doors, like the Doors movie again. You listen to Soft Parade, you're like, okay, I can see why a lot of people found this as the one of the worst Door albums. Or you can see how he went to like Jim Morrison went to rehab, and you can see that come out in L.A. Woman, and it's like
Hmm.
interesting. And like I imagine a lot of people after seeing Bohemian Rhapsody, like listening to the Bohemian Rhapsody again, like the actual song, they're just like, oh my god, I can see like if they're logical and not just like, oh my god, Queen.
Yeah.
um Actually take what was from the movie and like as fabricated as it could be, the small truth in it, you could see, okay, I could see how they got these events from the making of this CD or this song.
Right. Right.
That's I think one thing I really enjoy about certain like artists, movie type stuff, because you obviously have the ones like The Wall and Labyrinth, I'll even say, because that's like a Bowie project, and Sergeant Pepper's, where it's like those are movies based on the music, not based on the artist. And it
Right.
comes out
Right.
that way too. Like you listen to The Wall the way through, you see it, you're like, what the fuck am I watching?
Hmm.
And like you're watching Labyrinth and you're seeing the Bowie Bulge the entire time singing about a magic dance, and you're like, okay, I'm hooked. Sign me up. Where
The
do I sign?
the Bowie bulge. All right, I'm hooked. Sign me up.
Literally, I'm gonna change that to my bio on Twitter. The Bowie Bulge.
So
Yes,
your
sign me
name will
up.
be please don't come within 100 feet of my children, and your bio will be the 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 Bowie bulge. You are going to get yourself fucking arrested.
I'm waiting.
Oh my god! Like, good luck getting a fucking job at any prestigious place with a fucking Twitter name and a bio like that, my friend.
Oh boy, I'm ready. And like
Oh,
Sergeant Pepper's is
Christian.
probably honestly I'd say is a lot wall even.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there like, Jesus, what the fuck is happening here?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just
I'll see
Bohemian
you in
Rhapsody was.
prison.
I'll see you in prison. As a mod, can I make commands? Yeah, you can type commands.
What's the commands?
Like Twitch commands. I don't know which. I don't know what you can do, but I think you can do shit. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know how to fucking Twitch works.
Uh,
And yet here I am.
but yeah, it's like if I want to throw on my Night at the Opera record and Bohemian Rhapsody comes on, I want to sit there and be like, okay, I want to think of how it was made, and the movie pops into my head. I
Yeah.
call that a win. because it actually gets you thinking when you listen. Okay, how was this album? And then how was this album made? And it leads you to documentaries and other things about music, and it's like, oh, this makes sense.
Right.
And then if you want like the artsy dartsy thing without doing acid, just let's throw on one of the other out like plenty movies made of the music
Mhm.
that we don't have to spend your money on acid and go into prison.
But that sounds like more
As you
fun.
do.
That just sounds more fun though.
But yeah, like that's why I think music videos, depending on like the subject matter of them,
Yeah.
are hit or miss. So,
Hit or miss. I guess they never
God damn
miss,
it.
huh? You got a boyfriend. I bet he doesn't kiss ya.
Cake, how do I ban people on Twitch again?
You can't ban me. I am the Senate.
Your mic cut off as soon as you went to say Senate, so it went, I am the.
I am the. That's all that matters. You know what? You fill in the rest. You know what I was saying. Hashtag only real Star Wars fans.
But anyway, like with what was it was the one that Macklemore did that like promoted like true love and stuff like that.
You can leave the Discord server. Oof.
But like that music video works with the song, and then honestly, so does like if you listen to other like old school ones. It like has like, oh, this is about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Well, here's a music video featuring sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Hell yeah, that's my kind
Where
of music video.
when you get you can see your phrase coming a mile away like a movie. But like you can see it how what's the a lot of the other movies like or not movies, music videos like for a bunch of rap stuff is like even if they're rapping humbly, a lot of the times it's like, oh, you like a girl butt, there you go. Oh,
There,
you like money,
there you
there
go.
you go.
There you go.
There you go. You want a product placement of alcohol that you can't afford, there you go.
There you go.
And it's just like a lot of that type stuff is just like just show something that is in conjunction with the music, something that logically works. If you're singing about a stupid alligator, dress like an alligator.
Right.
I mean, it
How
works.
to get huge in visuals, exactly.
Ugh. But yeah, I guess
It's like rock
just,
lobster.
yeah. If you're singing about that, and if it's not like you actually singing in front of the mic, then show a lobster rocking out. If you want to have a crab rave, have your crab rave.
Crab rave, crab rave. It's my favorite meme.
But yeah, it's like make videos that work, other than like, oh, this video has its own personal message. No, just make it work with the song, dumbass.
So, what have we learned here today, folks? If you're doing anything in the film industry, don't put unnecessary bullshit where unnecessary bullshit doesn't belong.
True, and also check out those two local bands.
And also check out the local bands, Whisper Disco,
Whisper Disco
and Little Bo Peep. And this YouTube video is Cake. This better be the Cleveland thing.
What is it?
I don't know. Hold on. Oh, it's Crab Rave.
Oh, solid. And if you're making movies, make them good.
Make them good. You two should run the music video industry. We should just fucking make a movie.
I'm pretty sure we've tried that with AJ multiple times and it fall through multiple times.
I mean, yeah, we still gotta post the fucking like life tips with Trey shit. Don't let Christian know I said that because I told him I was gonna finish it and post it over winter break. Be good. Nice lesson. We need dedication that you don't have. I have dedication, just not to editing editing a shitty video.
We have 2 episodes of this up now in like 4 days.
Yeah, I was saying we're so committed, we're so dedicated that we just did 2 weeks worth of podcasts in a weekend. Okay, bitch.
So that way, when Trey edits it later for YouTube, we have 2 videos up.
I don't edit this for YouTube. This goes just straight to YouTube.
Oh, it goes straight to YouTube.
I don't edit these.
Do you have its own YouTube channel yet?
No, it just goes up on my channel right now.
I think that's what you need to do.
Okay.
Once we get like 3 more videos out.
I thought you were gonna say like 3 million more subscribers. I'm like, yeah, okay, buddy. Okay, sure. Yeah.
No, at least
I'll
like
call you
3
when I
more
get there. I'll
videos.
call you when I get
Oh,
there.
good.
Because
Good.
right now I'm at fucking what 40 subscribers? No, 35. I lied. 35 subscribers.
And how many are here today? So far, it says 7, and a lot of them are probably bots.
It's 5 actual people watching. The rest are bots. One of
That's
them's
good.
you. One of them's Cake. One of them's Christian. So there's 2 people that I don't actually know.
Ugh. So yeah, I think that's where we can wrap it up.
Yeah. We'll be back next Monday.
Monday.
We should be back next Monday. Check my Twitter. Check Patrick's Twitter. Our Twitters are
Yay.
right there above our faces. We will tweet out if anything changes. I'll tweet out if anything changes, and he'll quote tweet it. So
Yeah, he'll tweet out if anything changes. Tweet it for you guys.
you know Big Bad Boner Daddy, right? Yeah, I know.
Huh?
It's Patrick. I know Big Bad Boner Daddy. It's Patrick.
Yeah, me.
I said Patrick,
And
then
it's Daddy.
that Big Bad Boner Daddy.
Well, yeah, make sure you write those down or take a screen cap of the 2 bands and their album covers. Again, I know Whisper Disco is YouTube, and I think other streaming service type things like Songify or Spotify,
Songify.
stuff like that. Songify.
And Little Bo Pete is on SoundCloud and Bandcamp, but I'm not sure if Bandcamp's free or not. So SoundCloud is free, so check him out on there.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. This has been the Anything and Everything and Anything and Everything. I'll get it eventually. Podcast, and peace out.
See ya.